to be the full magnitude of who I am. I want to become consciously aware of who I am and my true power and infinite nature, and I will do anything necessary to make that happen. When you put out that intent and you mean it, it's not just a trite phrase, then you start to draw in what you need to create that intent every time. But we have this belief when we do this put out this power of intent. Because I'll give you an example. When I started to realize nearly 20 years ago now that the world wasn't like I thought it was. Well, not what I thought it was. I didn't really think about it much, but it wasn't like I perceived it to be, and everyone perceived it to be. I put out the intent because I was fascinated by it. I want to know what it's all about. And I will do what is necessary to find out what it's all about. I'm going to do this. And what happens is, that intent starts to draw towards you what you need to achieve that intent. Now, what you think is, when you put out the intent, I want to be spiritual, then everything kind of becomes beautiful, and nymphs fly around you, and butterflies and stuff, and everything falls into place, and there are bright colors and country lanes with angels playing violins and harps, and it's all spiritual now. And when you put out the intent, I want to know what's going on, I want to know the bigger truth of everything, you think that, people are going to come along and just hand it to you. What actually happens is all hell breaks loose in your life, often. It bloody broke loose in mine. And so at this point, so many people stop on this journey of awakening to the true magnitude of who they are because they see things coming towards them where their old life starts to break down. Relationships might start to break up. They lose this job. They might lose financial security. I certainly bloody did. And suddenly you think, no, something's going wrong here. This can't be right. I want to be spiritual now. But what is happening, and if we only realize that, what's happening, it would be so much easier. We are putting out a vibrational expression of our inner state of being. That manifests itself as what we call our life. The people in it, the relationships in it, the jobs, the locations, the opportunities, the lifestyle. When you say, okay, I want to transform, I want to know the big picture, I want to be spiritual now, then intent doesn't say, cue nymphs, cue angels with harps, that guy over there, okay? What it says is, here's what you need to achieve that. And because we live in a mind-made world constructed by mind-made domination and perception, if we want what we say we want, that has to break down. Otherwise, it's going to stop us getting where we say we want to go forever bloody more. So what intent then does is bring to us pains in the backside, people we wish we'd never met, losing your job, losing financial security, maybe a relationship breaking down. It doesn't always happen like this. It depends what you need to break down this construct to allow the real self in. And what happens to large numbers of people, often because they don't understand this, and I bloody know what it's like because I didn't understand it when I went through the first part of this, they say, okay, I'd like to know the truth and I'd like to be spiritual, okay, but not that bloody badly. No, thank you. And they walk away and they say, see, you don't create your own reality. I wanted to do that, but my life fell apart. No, your life was falling apart because your intent was breaking down the energetic construct that had manifested as what you call your life. And because that has to go before that can come in, you were in the process of transforming. You were in the most challenging part of the process of transforming, but that's what you were in. And because I'm a stubborn bugger, me, and I don't like giving up, I kept with it, and eventually the waters broke. And I realized that what would have been happening through those nightmare years of mass ridicule and mass rejection and all the other stuff was that construct that was holding me in the illusion was being broken down. And you know, I came up with this phrase which is so applicable to my life. Life gives you your greatest gifts brilliantly disguised as your worst nightmare. And only when you go beyond it and you see what that gave you with hindsight do you realize this nightmare was actually your greatest gift, because it was breaking down the prison that has now set you free. And this again kicks in when this process is going on. Oh no, survival of your reputation. What will people think of you? Oh my God. And when you don't give in to that and you go through it, bingo. The promised land. The Secret, this thing that, this DVD that talked about what you put out, you get back, and if you focus on wanting a Ferrari and visualize it, then you'll create it. Well, maybe you will, but we have life experiences, and if your life experience does not involve a Ferrari, then you can paint your house with Ferraris and focus on them all day. They ain't coming. It's not that simple. And again, like I say, why me? Why me? Exactly. Why you? Why are you creating that experience and not someone else? Change what's attracting it, the experience will disappear. And there are so many influences that are affecting our reality, astrological influences, which are just energetic fields affecting our own energetic field. The life experience that we came to experience, the way we decode reality, all these things are deciding what our lives are. But we can have control over all of them if we become conscious and allow consciousness to be the governor of our experience and not mind. And that means living life instead of life living us. Most people on this planet go through their 70 years and 10 having life, the program, live them. They just follow the program thinking they're making the decisions, but all they're doing is going round and round on the carousel, absolutely convinced that one day they'll catch up with a horse in front, but they never do. And if we got off the carousel and started living life instead of letting life live us, then we'll have a totally different experience. And crucial to breaking out of this prison is breaking down this density, this solidity we call mind, and opening it up to all possibility, the ocean, so that we can be in this world but not of it. And the process in the Matrix kind of sums up brilliantly what happens when you start on this journey. Stage one is to accept that we are in a situation of slavery. Because only when we accept that do we start to see the bars of the prison and therefore realize there's something to be addressed here. If we don't even go as far as seeing that we're in slavery to this system, then we don't see the bars, we do nothing about it. We go round and round and round until we hit the coffin and away we bloody go. So, but becoming aware that we're in a state of slavery. Stage two, choosing freedom above slavery. And that means going through these processes I've just been talking about of breaking down and transforming from the construct of mind that we had to a mind that is much more fluid and connected to consciousness, which we call transformation. And that symbolic, very difficult transformation that the Neo character went through, of course Neo being an anagram for one, was very, very symbolic of the challenges that we go through in our lives, experience